My name is Rachel. I'm a volunteer with a Ripple, and I'm here at P4T Primary School. I'm a registered nurse. I live in Georgia in the US. I've traveled with the founders of a Ripple before, but this is my first time in Uganda. P4T reached out to a Ripple and asked them to come improve upon some water projects here at their school, and also with a vision for them to start a medical complex or a healthcare clinic here at the school. P4T's vision is to have a medical clinic here available for their students and their staff, and then open it up to the community. Before we came to Uganda, there were some video meetings, some planning sessions, and a WhatsApp chat group where we all communicated ideas. P4T had some generous outside donors that donated money that allowed them to buy a lot of medical supplies and a lot of medications for their clinic. And our job was to come here and put it to action, make it so that it could be usable. We first arrived about 10 days ago. The first day, we watched what was going on. We saw the need for clean water. There was one nurse, Godrine, here. She had 2 very sick patients with malaria. Malaria is bad this season. The patients were sick enough to need IV medication. They both shared one bed. Godrine had to stand up on a chair to be able to hang a IV medication with a glove on a nail on the wall to be able to give the medications these kids need. Another thing I noticed on the first day was how far she had to walk to wash her hands. As a nurse myself, it's very important for us to be able to keep our hands clean, keep our environment clean, and not spread germs. And Godrine had to actually exit the building, take several steps away to a hand washing station, and come back. So a lot of extra work for her. Other things we noticed is the room was very small. And we knew that P4T wanted to expand into the building that clinic was in, and they had a vision to expand into several different rooms. They wanted to have a space for the nurse to work. They wanted to have an area for a medical officer to work with 2 examination beds and space for lab equipment, and they wanted a pharmacy as well. In addition to that, they also wanted a space for those patients that were really sick, that needed IV antibiotics or might have to stay closer watched. They wanted a special area for them that were separate from the rest of the kids. P4T school is special because they have both boarding capabilities as well as day students. So they have up to 700 kids that come here, and about 180 of those kids stay. So our first day after watching everything, we kind of planned and figured where everything was going to go. It took a couple days for supplies to come in, but that was okay. We had to move a room that was being occupied as a store, like storage, to another facility, and it took 2 days to do that. And then we had to clean everything. We had a fantastic carpenter who worked very tirelessly on making the pharmacy that you see around me, making all the woodwork for that. And then the supplies started coming in. And so we set up the supplies, separated the medical supplies between the examination room and the nurse's room. And then the medications came in, and there was boxes and boxes of medications that we sorted and put into a collective database so that anybody can look at it and see how much medication we have, what kind of medication we have, when it expires. And then I'm pretty proud of myself for this. We have 4 hospital beds that I put together, 2 in each of the inpatient rooms, and they're special in that you can actually hand crank the beds to have them sit up, and they have an IV pole attached to them. So if you do have another sick patient, Godrine does not have to stand up and on a chair and put medication on a wall. Right now they have one medical officer and two nurses. They're looking to hire a lab technician and a pharmacist, and then they will be fully functional. They have the capability and the space to have teams come in if there's international teams that want to come in and add to their healthcare, but they're very self-supported. They have a lot of resources now that they didn't have before that they can offer to their kids. In the future, we had talked about even some of the secondary school students learning a vocation that is in healthcare. So they would come in and do an apprenticeship with the nurse or the medical officer or the pharmacist, if that's what they are interested in, and something they can grow and learn and then go on and get a full education and in any kind of healthcare field. So there's a lot of opportunities and a lot of integration with this. Another thing that we added to the nurse's room, which is very important, is a sink. The sink has a filter on it, so the sink is good for hand washing as well as dispensing drinking water. So when the nurse has to pass medications to the students, the kids are drinking clean water. And that's a very big addition to this clinic. The nurse no longer has to walk outside the building and able to stay close to the kids.